about today's topic. We know that you will do this for us much more than thanks. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. Thank you very much for that opening prayer. For our safety moment, as we are on our way, we are in rainy season, so it's advisable that we, for those of us who do drive, that we drive with all clarity, not with any form of fog, as well as make sure that we manage our journey properly, and please do all you can to protect yourself during this rainy season. For those of us in the room, for the health safety moment, please, we are not aware of any planned trip. So if you have an alarm section, we can quickly move to the muster point for further instructions. And then if you want to use the convenient is just by the left as you walk into the hall. You can help yourself if you need. We have a lot of dignitaries in here, and I'll try and do justice to the ones here and recognize both the ones online as we move on. While they enter, we recognize them as well. Today's technical session is a very much anticipated one. We all have gathered here to share knowledge and then learn from it. One of our famous and consistent prof who has always identified with us, both in good weathers and rainy weathers. So I'd like to welcome Professor Elebe to quickly step into the item. Prof, you're welcome. Joining Prof on the high table, we have equally our center manager for today's sponsor in the person of Mr. Thompson. Again, I'm happy to welcome my boss, who's on the shoulder we take to fly. Please, let's welcome the Watercourts chapter coordinator. Please, I will get into the position. Like I did say, we will continue to recognize our dignitaries as they're working. That is not to say we are forgetting those who are online. So I would like to recognize my president-elect, who is online, Mrs. Ajimoke. I don't know if she will want to say hello now, but maybe in due time. Okay, I think I can hear you.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning, Port Harcourt chapter and everyone on the call. Am I to speak now on welcoming everyone, or that will be later?
Later. I think there's a space for you to say hello to and welcome everyone.
All right, thank
We
you.
are recognizing your presence. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Okay, I think that's it. When our president and other chapters of National Institutes join, we will recognize them. Okay, thank you very much. Again, I have had the mandate of helping for today's sections in terms of coordinating, but that is not to say I have the final say. The reason why we have the high table to help us, pioneer in today's section. So we will move right into it. But before I continue, I think I have in our midst for recognition some of our corporate entities. We have our students from the NDU here present. We have our corporate partner, the Miss Energy, always with us. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. And we have Bulwark Services Limited, the sponsor of today's technical meeting, fully represented. It's a full house. We equally have students from the River State University here present. And we have one of our famous pros equally with us. When I get the right detail, I will introduce her so that I don't commit unforgivable sin. Thank you very much. Without much ado, I'd like to hand over the mic to my coordinator to give his brief remark, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you very much, Doc, while you take the stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus. The microphone is available. I was going to say praise the Lord. Honestly, I'm being very vulnerable here. That's what was going to come out of my mouth. Praise the Lord. But it's not out of place, right? Okay, good morning, everyone. I scribbled a few things here so that I don't keep rambling. I go straight to the point and be able to please say all the things that I think I need to say because of what today's meeting is. Also, I'd like to begin very quickly. A very good morning, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of NABE Port Harcourt chapter, I warmly welcome you to our September technical and business meeting. Incidentally, our final for this year, 2025. So whether you are joining us physically here at Kasoni International Hotel and Suites or that your future actually is in your hand. If you don't show up at the table where the meat is being divided, nobody's going to come to your house to give you the meat. I look at some students that make excuses. We know that. That make excuses and say they can't come for XYZ reason. Why we, we see that we understand them and we extend to, and it's something that is given way by that excuse. So be encouraged. That's what we're trying to do. Today's session promises to be an insightful one. We are privileged to have Mr. Famous, or now Famous, in the house. Give me a big hand, please. His performance is very good. I won't do a lot of work to try to introduce you, but he is coming from Bulwark Science Department. He's going to be sharing with us unlocking the other business value using 4D full form technology. I don't know what I
Okay, I did say that it's time for our president-elect to say hello to us. So, Mrs. Ajayi Efnabe, if you can hear me, please.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
We can hear you now.
I guess the network has been maybe bad from your own end.
Yes.
Okay. So once
ahead.
again, good morning, everyone, and good morning to all those who are there physically present and all of us on the call virtually. And well done to the Port Harcourt chapter for putting up this technical meeting for the month of September for your chapter. I welcome all of us. I welcome the speaker, Prof. I looked at the topic of the day and I see that it's going to be an exciting one. Thank you for accepting to speak, and also the chairman, thank you very much. To all our fellows who are on the call, I can see our vice president on the call, and some others that are on the call, and all our ESCOs, like our AGS is on the call, and some others. Thank you for making time to attend. If there's any fellow on the call that have not mentioned, you are appreciated. Thank you for setting out time to attend today's session. I want us all to sit down and enjoy the session for today. God bless you all, and well done.
I appreciate our president-elect. Thank you very much for that speech. We are encouraged with your presence and other national ESCOs that is joining us on the call. Thank you very much for joining us. Like I did say earlier on, we will be introducing our high table as they come in. We've recognized all that we can see at the moment. Please, if we've not recognized you, forgive our shortcoming because we want to quickly dive into the sections for the day. Next on the agenda is the introduction of the speaker, which was supposed to have been done by the main section chair, who is on his way coming. And like we did introduce our alternate chair, we help us coordinate the day while the main section chair, while waiting for him to arrive. So today we are going to dive into the topic of the day to be presented by our speaker, Mr. Famous Elebe. Just 1 minute, let me introduce Mr. Famous Elebe. Thank you. Or better still, for the want of time, I think his profile is a little bit big enough. Maybe while in the time of recognizing the speaker and the sponsors of the day, we can have the ample time to say much about Mr. Famous Elebe. For now, we want to use the floor for the want of time so that he can quickly do justice to all that he has prepared to share with us today, because I can see he can't wait to come on stage and share with us all that he has prepared. And I want you all just to relax and then make it an interactive one so that at the end of everything, we'll be packed with a lot to go home with. Thank you very much, Mr. Ebele. Please, let's welcome the speaker of today's section, Mr. Famous. And he steps in to take the mic. I think that's probably. Thanks for honoring him.
Thank you, Mr. Callistus. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to those online. Okay, today's topic is on 40 FWI, the learning from Usan field for the monitor tool skill. And this is a landmark work, the first have been Let me get close. Sorry for that glitch. I've outlined this topic in this you see. First one, I'm going to look at the definition of FWI. Then we'll dive into the definition of what the FWI entails. Of estimating or estimating or updating velocity model in 2009. And within this period, the frequency was pushed or used 20 units was between 10 to 15 hertz. However, in 2018, Shen published an article that analyzed the benefit of taking this or pushing this FWI frequency up to 30 hertz. FWI imaging has since been probably opaque in the industry for 3D sensing processing. And if you look at the picture of the device, we have some questions that we ask. What about the amplitude and can it be applied? That's it. First, we have the A, B, and C. These are images from a conventional topo orbit. And the one below is images after FWI application. And you can see what FWI did, because from the one on the top here, the one on the top here are actually time-driven models. So they don't actually use amplitude for as probably updating. So, but the FWI uses both phase and amplitude in terms of workability of the process. So you can see how amplitude help in resolving the low velocity anomalies seen here. But if you look at it from the conventional process, you can even say yes, you can see some future coming in, but you can't tell what's actually happening. Now looking at the time slice here, you see that this is kind of smoothed out completely. When we look at it here from after FWI, you can see that we have a more detail coming in and complex heterogeneity you can tell the structure that are coming in here. Now, also look at it from the seismic images, the great seismic images here. You can see that this part here is from the conventional work done using the conventional velocity model. This one here is the model from the initial FWI object, and this is the final product. And you can still read that when you compare what's happening on the X side here, F as against what is happening here, you can see how amplitude really play a key role in illuminating the events on the bottom row of the pictures that you see on the slide. Now, can this be applied to M4D? What is actually 4D? 4D is a timelines process where you have two solving, one coming before the before production, and another coming after production. What we have done here is okay. Let me go back. I say 4D is actually a processing technique that is used to study or monitor reservoir. Firstly, you have a monitor or a baseline solving. This is before production, and after production, maybe 2 years or thereabout, depending on the company, you can acquire another solving to monitor the activities in the subsurface. And now we're asking this question: can we apply MWI to afford the seismic solving? The simple answer is yes, we can. And that is the essence of this topic for today. What is for the MWI? Now, simply put, this is a system or it is a processing technique that applies the principles of the from the MWI products to study or to monitor surface property of an event over time. We have different kind of or approach of this process. We have the sequential and the joints are the common ones that you see. However, they have engineers are the double difference and string. For this case study, we are going to talk about just the parallel inversion. The parallel 3D LOI on each language. That is, you are inverting separately. The noise, because over time the noise quality is as well activities. Okay,
I want. Can we get it on? These are our last. Technical and business needs. National facility that's feedback that giving.
Now let's look at the geological overview of this area. The Usan field is 60 miles offshore Harcourt, Nigeria. It is part of Elebe 138, and water depth ranges between 750 and 850 meters. The field was first discovered in 2002, and within this period, diverse reservoir activities have taken place, and we have two producers well. We have 10 injectors, gas injectors, and 6 water injectors. Looking at the map here, you can see that the field is highly compartmentalized, having a deep faulting, radial faulting, and thin sand bed. Like I said, in 2003 precisely, monitoring was acquired, and the essence of that was to use it for surveillance tool for identifying and maturing drilling opportunities. And this report process with the monitor 1 in 2004. Now, why for the FWI? This field is highly compartmentalized, in terms of geology, and the structure is, it's deeply faulted. Now, because of this complex nature of this field, we require a high resolution imaging to image this field. And this is one thing the conventional process so far to deliver. Now, as part of the model building work to improve the overall quality of the data, we first focus on producing a high resolution 3D model. This is suitable to present or to image the base and the monitor. Now, looking at the two models, the one on my left is the legacy velocity model, and the one on my right is the model after 3D FWI model, all overlaid on my latest stack. And you can see how compartmentalized the model here is, and how the FWI resolve the surface from the top to bottom. You can see that we have fine structure, more detail coming in, and high and complex heterogeneity. And this is what we got from the legacy model, and you can agree with that. You cannot even tell before the fourth definition here, but it is better defined in after 3D model. Same thing goes into the looking at the depth slides of this vintage data. You can see that we have more channel coming in. Sorry, we have more channel coming in, and this can be well resolved here. And we have continuity of events, as compared to what you have in the images. You cannot even tell you what is happening here correctly. And the sound bodies, image are not well defined. But this is what this is what we got after FWI. We have better channels, as seen here, well resolved, continuity of our events here. Where this is just for a 1 kilometer depth slide. And same thing appeared in 3 kilometer depth slides. You have event continuity, better high definitions, as compared to the vintage. And this gave us, a foundation into the 4D testing. Now, looking at our case study from the proof of concept that we did, this was done using the parallel FWI approach, and we took just a few data and just a snapshot of our data and ran it through the joint inversion approach. Now, the essence here is to see if the 4D FWI will capture same anomalies as seen in the 3D stacks. And as seen there, people using the wells to also evaluate their test. We see that the events, the anomalies are seen here. Now, at this from the 4D perspective, these are 4D difference, and you can see the anomalies. Now, overlaying this same event using our 4D FWI, you see that events are well coincided with what we saw or what we are seeing from the 4D difference. And this gave us the confidence that 4D captures anomalies on that are seen from the 3D stats and 4D difference as well. Now, going to the time slices of those events, and just this 3D 4D difference and the 4D FWI. Now, looking at these time slices, these time slices, you see that these are the same anomalies that we are looking at the time shift, and see that 4D FWI 90 capture those same timelines events, and this asset gave us the confidence that 4D FWI is working as expected. This is our step slice from the 3D start plus the 4D FWI. And we compare this to what we saw on what we are seeing on the 4D difference. You can see that our events are the same location and were captured by the 4D FWI. And before the FWI, and this was run just after 20 years. Now, with this acknowledgement, or with this picture that you see, I give us this confidence that yes, 4D FWI capture event or not events that are seen in a 3D and 4D difference. You know, it gave us, and we know that the parallel that was used, like I said, is 2 times the process. You know, so the cost implication gave us concern. Okay, what we do with 2 different to reduce this cost implication, because no matter what you do, you also consider cost in everything you do. So that allows us to apply joint inversion. And this, like I said, inverts simultaneously the monitor and the baseline. And we run this through a live portion and apply a beam, but with a 4D process. We apply a 4D beam just to be sure that we are comparing same data, similar data. Like the question started with the first frequency band and repeated the frequency band using the 3D model building. What I mean by this is that we applied what we call multi-scaling strategy. Taking and running the frequency from the low down and gradually bringing in the high frequency. This is to avoid the cycle skipping. Now, the joint inversion produces similar but sharper result compared to the parallel 3D FWI approach. Also, the more advantage of it is that we ran it using fewer iteration. For the parallel inversion, we use 30 iteration per frequency band. And you know, like I said, we apply 5 band of frequency, and we use 30 iteration per band. So you can see how the cost implication and how to be analyzed. But however, with the introduction of or the use of the joint inversion, we use less than 60% of it to get similar results and better 4D stability, which are looking on the 4D screen. Now, looking at the results, this is a joint inversion scheme as compared to parallel, with joint and parallel. You can see looking at this part, you can see the advantage towards using joints. They are similar, the events are well aligned. However, it is far cheaper than the parallel approach. Joint, parallel, joint, parallel, joint. Now, this is the depth slice of a joint. what you have on the left is the model, and what you have here is the model that is stack. And you can see that when compared with the parallel, the same effect. They are similar. The joint is faster in terms of inversion. However, it is cheaper in terms of cost implication, and also faster. Now, Exxon has this concern. Is this thing actually workable? Was it giving them? Because we have shown the pictures. Now they wanted to also do their own analysis. So this picture came from one of the staff of Exxon in the US, and this analysis was just to confirm what we have been saying all this while. And looking at the three pictures, this is for the up to 20 years, and this is the view that is changing with the speed from using the frequency of 150 Hz to 20. And these are conventional 4D difference. And if you look at these three pictures, you see that the events align nicely as especially showing that 4D captures event same implications as other approaches. Just promotional. However, there are limitations. This at 150 years, you are lacking the low frequencies, and possibly cycloscaping can come in there, and it's not very friendly to noise. But looking at just at 20 years, as long as 20 years anyway, you can see that the events here are very good penetration of the level. Why? Because it uses both the dialing wave that captures events like this, and this is not not happening in the this other end. And look at it, you can see how noisy the both effects are. However, we have a better, appreciate and resolve subsurface image using all the wave field. Now, lesson learned. Yes, our parallel is robust, it's cost indicative. However, the proof of concept may not require repeating all frequency band in some circumstances. However, the joint inversion, yes, this gave us an equivalent result as seen from picture shown, but with around 60% of total intuition. So it's kind of more cheaper as compared to the parallel. Then we see that our joint for the inversion at 20 years gave equivalent results at the band limited infinity. Okay. Also, we said that for the 4D, for the joint inversion, you will require some pre-processing step. And one vital one is binning. You must bin to ensure that the data are similar. Then avoid using smaller data, because that's what we do in our test. We only use 11 C lines, and with sort of edge effects. That's why this stuff actually we feel sort of edge. So avoid using smaller data. Use the entire data for this analysis. Then activation and intuition will be a problem. Yes, there are challenges, particularly in the parallel inversion. With so you must do your pre-processing steps when you're using parallel inversion. But for the joint inversion, we don't need that, because we invert simultaneously and we ensure that the data are similar in terms of repeatability. So yes, noise quality is also a problem for the parallel, but not same for the joint, because we use, like I said, we took it from the low to end. That is one. Then two, we use what we call a dynamic matching approach in running the joint environment. This is not friendly to noise. It works well in low to low signal to noise ratio environment. Now, what are the future work to be done? We have done this analysis, we have done this test using acoustic FWI. However, when we go into stuff like elastic that incorporates the S wave, you have visual data, and it gives you better events and better resolution of the subsurface. Now, looking at the reflectivity, if you want to compare like for like for what we saw, using our 20 Hz with 150 Hz, if you want to compare like for like, if we run our FWI to 100 and excess of 100, you can have both your fine structure coming in and your fine structure coming in and your large structure coming in. Then, like I said again, running it on the full data set will minimize edge case as Bella said. Now, in summary, you agree with that. 4D FWI produce anomaly at location that coincide with the 3D and the 4D pictures. Also, it gives us confidence that 4D FWI can capture signal in a fraction of time and effort. This is, like I said from the beginning, it is the first time we are applying 4D FWI on Nigerian data, and it's a landmark achievement for Bulwark services and for Nigeria large. Let me acknowledge firstly the team here to Bulwark services and TGS that has put together this work, and also acknowledge government NMBC Limited, LINS, for giving us permission to work on the data. Then Edison cannot work without them, but I want to give us the permission to access the data. And thank you, Nabe, for giving us the opportunity to showcase this project. Thank you.
No, it's not your time for me to thank you for coming. Well, you know, we didn't want to, disturb the presentation. Okay, so also here. So while I was giving my opening remarks, I kind of spoke by feet. I made it forms. I recognize our esteemed president of the association, I'm saying here. Well, he told me that he was going to, because of the meeting, he was going to connect online, but I told you that he would come. And here he is. He walked in while you were talking, so we need to acknowledge him.
It's okay. It's my
Sir, thank you for you can see that he came from our last TVL for the year.
Yeah, he came at the beginning.
And he came now. And also Dr. Jude walked in. Doctor, you were not able to do it today. It's fine. We understand what's happening. So let me not disrupt the flow already for so who is who's in chat?
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Famous, for the presentation. Please, I think we can do more than the other. You can appreciate it. You can quite agree with me that the presentation was quite extensive. And as my coordinator has mentioned, while he was speaking, our president walked in and some other subject experts are supposed to share walked in, who we do help Mr. Famous to do justice to the topic. If you so commit to, because I mean, like I did say earlier on, we're here to share knowledge and make sure by the time we're going back home, we are fully packed in terms of what we can do with 4D wave, two-wave inversion. So I think at this juncture, we will have to, interactively, yes. But to do that, I will call our editor-in-chief to help moderate the section of answer and question session so that we all can, be part of it. Thank you very much, sir. As you step in to coordinate this section, we invited when it comes to academic and sharing knowledge is the subject expert of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Duru. So at this point, we quickly go to listen to the full wave inversion. And basically, I know our speaker has given much knowledge on it, but we'd like to hear from you, your understanding of what he has done. You are free to ask questions. Please, especially for the students, don't be scared of what you want to ask. Go ahead and ask. Even if it means ask him what does he mean by the LWI. Ask the question because you're going to get something out of here. So let me see any hands in the hall before we go online. Anybody in the house to ask a question? Okay, one. Any other person? The student in the house. The last time we were told
okay, sorry for that break in transmission. Please, I've been signaled to quickly do justice to this so that I won't be crucified. This is an unforgivable saying. We have to quickly introduce our chair, who I did mention earlier. It's on his way. You know how these things are. There's a lot of commitment to attend to. Yeah, I think that he will come in for a little bit due to office engagement. Well, please permit me to introduce Mr. Jude, who is one of us, an earth and environmental scientist. With over a decade industrial experience, having his background from physics from Delta State University, MSc in geophysics from Imperial London College. Mr. Jude is one who loves traveling educationally, one who is so humble to interact even at the lowest level, just for the reasons of knowledge sharing. Please. For the want of time, I wouldn't want to go detailed into his profile. He's a subject expert in this case. He's going to help us to, demystify the subject. So long as today is concerned, please make welcome our today's section chair, Dr. Jude Osimobi. Thank you. Okay, I said so.
Sorry. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, leaders. Good afternoon, coordinator, not leaders. Apologies for being late. Under the excuse, we don't need to do it in the we want to apologize. Couldn't do beyond that. This was a very beautiful one. I think you deserve a round of applause. I think what I promised myself I was going to do today was maybe take extra 3 minutes, if you don't mind, just to speak to the students to understand a bit of this, right? Because the businessman is more interested in the product. But if you go a bit into, the maths and the physics, that's actually where the meat comes out. So let's tell a story. Once upon a time, segmentation happened, composition happened, burial happened, and we're looking for not do we look for sands? Because we know if we find sands, because of its porosity and permeability, there's a high chance we find hydrocarbon. Students, does that make sense? Now, typically, we will approximate the seismic wave to be a ray. We take it as a single, you do the experiments in physics, you put two pins this way, you go the other way, you find the same thing, the same percentage. But what he's saying now is that rather than approximate it as a ray, he's taking the entire wave. Because when you throw a stone inside the water, you see a cylindrical movement. That's the actual mood of a wave. So rather than solve it in an approximated wave pattern where you come in as incident and reflect, rather to treat the entire wave. Of course, that becomes expensive because imagine when you're solving just one, you're computing quite a lot and taking the entire wave from it. But what it does for you is that you have seeing that simple subsurface repeated. Right? That's food before. But the Jacobians and the derivatives becomes difficult to compute. But that doesn't matter, right? So once you get that, and that's why he talked around the refracted full waveform impression, because it becomes expensive to solve the elastic rings, right? So it takes it the same one where it focuses on the first arrivals and the direct loops. What he's saying is simple. Set an objective function. Call it your actual and your model. So the seismic is your actual, as you know the seismic, the gas. But what you're saying is that if I put all these application parameters and everything goes well, what would that seismic look like in an IT situation? That becomes your model. Now you've got a misfit between your observed, your actual, and your model. What you're not doing iteratively that he describes several iterations is to make sure that you blend your actual with your model. And any velocity, think of it as medical imaging, any velocity that is responsible for making your actual look like your model is the correct velocity. We understand that tomography question, right? Someone like medical imaging, you don't know the image of the organ or you know what to expect. So any image that organ would expect is the image. So that's exactly what he was saying. And then, of course, you look through your convergence. Once that misfit between your model, the model is no longer acquired. This is what you look like. Once it gets as low as possible, then you trust the model. And once they hit that frame, step it back. Why are we doing this? What's the principle behind it? And the 4D sense is that it's ensuring that there is. So if he has used cell lines, he has used this to remain the same. So that he's comparing apple for apple when he does his difference. Because if you process one at 15 Hz and process another at 15 Hz, your difference might just be based on frequency. And you thought you were thinking that you've seen an upswept type of count. So he's ensuring that he's keeping the processing parameters the same from the base to the monitor, so that you just ensure satisfaction. I think for me, this is what I wanted to say. Please, once again, apologies for being on it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joe. I know you want to bring the maths and the physics into it. And I want to believe that, like I said, students, you must gain something. I know a lot of you start asking, full wave. Naturally, what you will said is you have your ray that comes like a straight line reflected back. But what he's doing is that he's not seeing as it's like your normal light ray that has a curve. As you move forward, you are seeing a straight line, but when the ray moves, it's moving like a curve going outward. And that's what he's talking about the full. Let's use the full wave of that reflection. So the first question. Okay, sir. There's another hand over there.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everyone. My question is on the 4D. It's on the 4D. So, it's from your presentation, from the model you presented. From the model you presented.
Your name, please.
Okay, sure. Please.
All right, my name is Solomon MSc Geophysics Uniport. Okay, from the model you presented, what I could observe from the difference between the 3D model and the 4D model, I observed an improvement in your data cleaning, but I didn't see anything that has to do, maybe I mean, you're wrong though, but I didn't say it has to do with the 4D itself, the word 4D itself on that data, but there was an improvement in data cleaning from the daily. So we expect to see the 4D, the 4D itself and the data itself. Thank you.
I think Dr. Judith said that you have to take
we don't get it anyway. But the essence of this analysis was to look at if our 4D epidemiology capture those anomalies that we see when 4D.
What is the standard of 4D? 3D and the 4D.
3D is a conventional process. But 4D, there's one thing that's added to it, time. That's difference. So you're looking at a seismic image that is taken in a particular place. Then after over a number of years, that same seismic image is retaken. Now, what is the essence of that? To study the behavior of the subsurface activity, anomaly, the dynamic activities in the reservoir. That is the essence. So you're looking at a seismic image that was taken before production and another survey that was taken after production to look at what the activities of the maybe depletion of pressure, maybe all the dynamic activities in the subsurface as taken to that has happened over time. So that is going to be your 3D and your 4D. So you are bringing time to the 3D. I don't know if I'm saying this.
Okay, there's another expert from the industry as well to explain the difference.
Christopher. So one of the differences you find in that picture you showed is 3D is the model, while the 4D is just a subtraction. You showed you something about using the parallel, using two different models and subtracting from it. And before the joints that he used, he did them simultaneously. So the fourth thing we're talking about now is just subtraction to get the repeatability of those of the system over time. Maybe like the case is presenting now, they had the projects that they did some years back, and they want to understand what has happened over time in that process, in that field. And so they went back to acquire a particular new set of data. So they want to compare what was done, how the field has been after period between the last acquisition and the latest acquisition. I don't know if I answered your question.
So there was a new acquisition. Yeah, that's what exactly. So there was a new acquisition. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The second person, okay.
So just assure him that after this,
You can meet
you can see me for that, okay?
discussion.
Good day, everyone. My name is Basil, student of the course of geology. I want to ask, my question is, what is for the FWI? Secondly, what are the effects of or benefits of assessments for the assessment generally?
Lovely question. What are the means?
Basil.
Basil. Okay, talking to Mr. Basil. Let me answer your second question. Seismic is more like your X-ray of the subsurface. So you go take X-ray from the hospital, you get picture of, like say, you get picture of your body, another body. You understand? So seismic is like imaging the subsurface to see what is happening underneath our earth. That is one. Then the second question is saying, what is 4D FWI? 4D FWI, like the first question my brother asked here, is taking the principle of the FWI itself, that's higher resolution, to match with your time lapse. I don't know if you understand. That's your 4D. That is the event between the first, like I said, the first survey and the recent survey, using high resolution image to image what has happened over time. Thank you. Another question? Yeah, another question.
Another person before we go online. I have a question online. You have a question? Okay, let's just see. We have 2 questions online.
Good ladies and gentlemen, my name is Usan, and I'm a student from the Department of Geology in University of Bulwark. What about how can you distinguish a change in velocity due to radio variation versus saturation effects, knowing that it can alter seismic velocity? Please repeat that question. How can you distinguish changes in velocity due to variation in pressure versus saturation effects? Then that it can dampen, it can alter seismic velocities in the full waveform.
Can you go to one of the pictures? It's right there. There's one very. That's not with the use velocity. That's short 4D. Can you go back? That joint of power. No, go back. Go where the velocity is. Why you introduce the velocity? Pass. Oh, you have to win the air. Keep going. Yes, stop it. Go on. No, forward. Look at it. So this is fluid effect, this is pressure effect. That's why velocity is different from this. Yeah. Even when they are sharing the same depth. So what you're saying that when you call pump pressures, even at the same depth, that's why we do an isotropy lateral velocity changes. So you're on the same depth, but there's a different velocity. Let's say this is higher than this. So it's possible that because it's an inverse relationship, right? If you go fluid here or to one that shield, that means compression, compaction has completely half. Or if go fluid, can you use the mathematical or cast or fluid effect? That's already what you're seeing here. You're on the same depth, but your velocity is changing laterally already. But full waveform inversion is able to capture it compared to whatever you had in legacy. And that's what we're saying, because you now have a wave front rather than a ray. So you missed it there because you used a single line here. But you couldn't miss it here because you had the entire wave front. So that's what it's saying. So this definitely helps.
Thank you, Julie. Okay, thank you. The next person, okay.
Good day, everyone. My name is Ejo Ezekiel, a student from Bulwark. I want to ask, this 4D LWI, is it applied to assessment data or is it an acquired one?
It's applied to assessment data as a model. It's applied to assessment data.
I think that. Can we help? Let me help so they can hear me. Okay. I think we are combining things, and we are making it difficult for them to repeat. First and foremost, there is 3D, there is 2D, there is 3D, there is 4D. Now, you're combining 4D and FWI, the styles, and we are talking about the remit of seismic data processing, and that's what we're telling them. Now, in 4D, simple, basic sense, you want to know the production effect because you have acquired data in this place, processed it with whatever algorithm you have. After maybe 5 years, you go back to acquire data in that place to understand what is the difference in the texture, in the image that you're seeing now. And whatsoever the difference is due to production that's taking place in that place. So now, instead of doing the normal kind of tomography that we do, he said, let's bring high-end algorithm, which is full waveform inversion. And that's why you can see the person that asked question around pressure effect on the velocity and all that. That's why you can see this. Because if you use other types of algorithm, we'll be looking at how flat is your event, your event that you're picking your gathers. But this one is more robust, more accurate. You can see all of this. But so he's saying, now, either I do a parallel, process this 3D separately and process this one separately, or I process both of them in a dedicated 4D processing for full waveform and then making the comparison. Do you understand that? Yeah, that helps.
Does that help you?
Yeah. Is it clear?
Don't shake your head like you don't. If you don't understand, because there'll be question, there'll be quiz.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Just one more person.
So let me just add a bit of explanation. You see, like you said, we had a conventional imaging procedure that we used to do our velocity model building, okay? The conventional or traditional, like he showed you there, is just using your tomography and your velocity APK to update your model. And so, like they explained, everybody has explained, it's just array information that we are gathering to do that, to resolve that depth velocity. Now, for the FWI that is presenting today, it's an advanced way of updating our velocity model in the sense that we now, because of all the details they have explained, you now have more resolution, more detail coming in, like you saw in that other slide. You could see there that those channels that were not properly captured here with the traditional model is being captured. And you can see there that the 4D that he explained, those low velocity area there are properly captured. So that's the difference between the 3D and the 4D. Thank you.
Okay, just before my question, sir, I just quickly, there's a question online from one caller who said, I did not really get the explanation of how 4D full wave inversion differs from the parallel. But what I understand was that you run initial iteration of the FWI for base and monitor and deduce the final velocity for the base from the updated monitor using the semblance deduced from the initial iteration. Is my understanding correct or not? Okay. Is it how 4D FWI differs from parallel? But what I understand is not saying that what he got from your was that you run an initial iteration of the FWI for base and monitor and deduce the final velocity for the base from the updated monitor using the semblance deduced from the initial iteration. Is this correct or a further explanation?
No, not correct.
Okay.
What we did initially was what concept. We used the parallel immersion. That's what we used. All the initial pictures you saw was we went through the parallel immersion and the acoustic FWI that was implemented. Then we now compare that product that we got with the joint immersion, understanding the fact that the parallel is cost, times 2 of what we are getting.
Okay, thank you. The last question online he said, is this purely refractive FWI or was what you used was just reflective waves?
It's both refractive and reflective of the blue light. We had the winds.
Okay, thank you very much. So at this point, I'm back to the moderator.
Okay.
As our Honorable President.
All right. Good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it's only by faith, right? So, that I'm here. I don't know, sometimes the same faith can move mountains. I don't know the kind of faith that your chapter coordinator had was able to move me. I wasn't planning to come here physically because I had a physical management meeting in the office, which was actually supposed to run from 10 to 12. So there was no way I could, be here. But somehow, we finished the bit earlier, and the chairman also was running with hand, and then he volunteered to also come down here with me. So I'm so happy that I indeed able to make it to join the face-to-face. And again, attendance is good to see a mix of the industry, the academia, I see our from here, and our EIC, our students, both the undergrads and the postgrads. Also good to see the presence of NMGS. I see the new NMGS chapter coordinator also here. So I want to say first thank you to Dr. Magnus Kano, who is the chapter coordinator, and your entire executive committee members already here supporting you for the great job you're doing to keep this chapter alive. And not just keeping it alive in the sense of ticking the box, but by bringing in quality topics, quality speakers to come and share knowledge. And you can already see the kind of knowledge that will be. And by the way, big thank you to the presenter. Your name is already a famous man. So need to market you so much. Your name already markets you. But again, a great technical tech. But that's what we need in what we do in Napping. So great to really share the story and examples to everyone in here. To Bulwark, Bulwark has been a strong ally with Napping, and we really say big thank you for everything you've been doing. Every now and then, you also at the conferences, you exhibit all the time, and I hope you're exhibiting this year as usual. And we've got a strong relationship with you, and we want to continue to keep this relationship going. I also see Ms. MD. Again, I know you also a strong ally of Napping. So I think it's a full house, and it cannot be better. So I'm so glad that I'm also able to join this. So all I can say is that on the technical side, the processing is, because that's the team I lead, right? So it's an area where we, as geophysics community, have to leverage to use technology, advanced workflow to change the dynamics of our and how the subsurface is going to look like. Because as we know today, the technology has really improved so much. In such a way that, for a longer time, if you acquire the energy and you have it in-house, the only thing that will continue to then change over time will process. So that's where different workflows will continue to come and emerge. And as they begin to become available, we begin to apply them. And then it's in the hands of the processors as well to really take advantage of being on the driving seat to make use of this new science data center opportunity to acquire. And on the other side, just to say, the leadership at the national level will continue to support the Harcourt chapter, will continue to support all members. it's good that you're here participating at the technical business monthly meeting, but also the conference, as you know, I'm sure the announcement is going to come up soon. It's in November. We also want you to stay active with that conference. The editor-in-chief, you are lucky to have him as being one of your own. I mean, he's one, everybody is just I don't know, I imagine some schools might also already be online. So we have the president on, as you can imagine, already she's spoken about perfect. So that tells you already, the president is here, the president-elect is there, the editor-in-chief is there, the charter coordinator, and the video as well. So, you get all the support. It's just to reassure you that you continue to get that support because we run this industry in terms of our ideas that find oil and gas. And this is a platform where we exchange ideas to continue to bring new ideas to find this in our business. So on that note, I will say well done and thank you everyone for making it today.
Thank you, Mr. President. With the permission of the Harcourt chapter coordinator, Mr. Demons, there's these two questions some people ask. The first one is there's much interest coming up online now. You say, what's the difference between, okay, say, I would like to know the distinction between the velocity model you refer to in your FWI and the one we refer to when we're using check shot. Yes. The velocity model you refer to in your full wave version and the one we normally use for check shot. And what's the difference between them?
Okay, for check shots, we use the curve for check shot. What?
The difference between the velocity model you refer to in your full wave version, the method you're using, and the one we normally use for check shot. One is web.
Check shot is the web. Yeah, that's why the web information.
Okay.
Yeah, so why the velocity is the model that was derived from either the parallel or the joint information.
Okay, thank you very much. The last one is from Peace. This one. He said, if FWI success rely heavily on high quality seismic data, why do you use acoustic FWI? And I remember this statement is not in your slide. That elastic FWI is more accurate, but it will make a significant difference.
Yes, I said elastic FWI. We add more. We enrich the wave field because we are adding the S wave to the P wave that we are using in this analysis. Yes, question. We say the question is correct that you have rich information to delimit the subsurface relation using both the P and the S wave. That is why you are going to look at the elastic FWI. But for this case study, we have used acoustic FWI. We're talking about what you said about.
You say, why do you rely heavily on high quality seismic data?
No.
Why do you use acoustic FWI when you are using high quality seismic data?
We didn't use the acoustic. We only feature it for opportunity purpose. However, for FWI, you can use FWI from the word code and generate a high resolution image. You don't need to go through the conventional process of running the tutorial, all the different processing steps. You don't see this from the technology has shown that even just after the noise, you can use your FWI to generate high resolution images.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, that's all.
Just quickly to add to that, why we use acoustic and not is simply because that is what is available in the industry. Okay. We are developing every day to get to a stage where
yes. Like the president said, the processor will continue to update every day for every technology that comes out. Thank you very much. Also, I also want to acknowledge the presence of AIC. It's not like as well, please. Thanks for joining. So this one I return back to. Thank you, Mr. Famous. PHCC. Okay, so you drive the next day.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much. Mr. Famous, as the president has already mentioned, you need no longer introduction. the name alone is good to take you. Again, I want to appreciate our EIC for helping us coordinate the Q&A section. I'm sure we got something, and we are fully prepared to take a look back based on the subject matter. Without much ado, we will move ahead, because there's not much time. Okay, so with the Q&A done, the chapter coordinator had earlier mentioned that for the innovative aspect of it, we're going to conduct some exercise of quiz. We're not going to do that now. We'll do that at the tail end of this section so that we'll give room for some other activities that we want to attend to. Again, not forgetting that we had some dignitaries who walked in during the texting, and luckily the president has been kind enough to recognize the NMGX and all the rest of them. He still recognizes that. Thank you you can come forward, sir, please. You have a full body with you, even when you're not in there. Let's make welcome the Harcourt NMGX chairman. Thank you, sir, for joining us. So it will be time for our appreciation, still an innovative aspect of the Port Harcourt chapter. I'd like to call on my coordinator as well as Professor Gessi to help us do justice to this section. Here in Port Harcourt, we acknowledge the fact that it's not easy to have a section like this. So we appreciate, no matter how little, the partnership, and as well. Come forward and help us do justice to this section. We will start with the presenter. Please, Mr. Famous, come forward. Professor Gessi, please help us appreciate. Yes.
Life. Carry the note chorus.
Yeah, thank you very much. On behalf of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Exploration, NAPE, our ideas for oil and gas, we thank you very much, Mr. Famous Elebe, for your presentation. We believe that the students and the industry people will benefit more from what you have given to us. We are grateful for your presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof, for that, and thank you, Mr. Famous. We do hope that next time if we call upon you, you can answer us. Again, we have
Bulwark to sponsor February shortlist.
You had it, my coordinator has spoken, and it is happening. Okay, so I would like to call on EIC to please help us present this token of appreciation to our sponsor for the day. Bulwark, please. Thank you very much. Please let's appreciate this sponsor.
You can say you can cook and people don't eat. But when you cook and people come to eat, then that means your cooking is good. Without them sponsoring this section, maybe we'll have been looking for what can we do, but it's stood up and said, we'll be there for you. So we want to really appreciate you. On behalf of Nigeria Association of Petroleum Exploration, Port Harcourt chapter, we present this award to you. In appreciation of your sponsorship of the NAPE Port Harcourt chapter technical meeting, this day, September 2025 edition, courtesy of the Executive Committee of NAPE Port Harcourt chapter.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, our EIC, for helping us. And again, thank you to Bob for always answering us. And our coordinator has made a pronouncement, and I'm sure this is already carried. Thank you. I know you're taking back to the management. We hope to see you by February next year to kickstart this year, to kickstart the year in terms of our technical discussions. I understand the Bulwark has briefly sponsors remark. Right or wrong? Okay, please. They have a few remarks for us. Please, let's just give them 2 minutes to say something to us. Thank you very much.
All right, good day, everyone, and thank you for coming to this presentation today. My name is Soa Afolabi Peters, and I am the Business Development Manager for Bulwark Services Limited. I have a task at this point to just tell us who we are as a company, Bulwark Services Limited, and also to tell us what we do as business. Just like this. All right, Bulwark Services Limited is a leading geoservice company in Nigeria, established over 20 years ago. And we are 100% indigenous company. We are based in Harcourt, Nigeria, and we have the state-of-the-art facilities to render services to the Nigerian oil and gas industry. We actually render services that cut across all the seismic exploration methods, both seismic acquisition, seismic processing, and seismic interpretation. And we have subdivided our services into 3 categories. We have seismic services, we have geological services, and we also have reservoir characterization services that we render to the public. Next slide, please. Our seismic services include marine seismic acquisition, marine data processing, and also marine data reconstruction. And I'd like to say here that in our seismic services that we partner with the global powerhouse TGS to carry out our services to the Nigerian oil and gas industry. On the aspect of the geological services, our services ranges for formation evaluation and structural interpretation to marginal field assessment. And under this category, we use advanced subsurface analysis to support exploration, optimize development, and also improve or increase the hydrocarbon discovery. And under here also, we also carry out to this public well log and manifestation and also document imaging solutions. Our reservoir characterization services integrate seismic inversion, AVO, petrophysics, and reservoir simulations to mitigate or optimize recovery from the subsurface, and also aid managers to accelerate their decision making both in the exploration, development, and production phases of the activities. Among several projects that have been completed in the center across all our services that we render, we have about 49 seismic data processing projects that we have completed, of which we have streamer data 36, OBC data 10, OBN data 2, and land 1. We have also carried out some marine seismic acquisition for our prospective clients. 2 of them have been successfully carried out, and we have also carried out 1 marginal field assessment for our clients. I would like to say that client satisfaction from all this project that we have carried out have been very, very satisfactory. Next slide, please. And these are the list of all our clients that we have worked with. They are coming from the international oil company, but we are very open to both international oil company and also the national oil companies. Next slide, please. And for our contacts, we are located, our property address is located at number 7/9 Degema Close, Rumubikwe Housing Estate, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Our phone contact is
234, positive 234 812 991 3324. And you can also visit our website to learn more about us. Just anywhere you see this barcode, you can scan it and that takes you directly to our website where you can learn a little more detail about our company. And on a final note, next slide please. We are everything Geoscience. We employ everyone here and online to bring your Geoscience problem to us, and we'll be glad and happy to provide a robust solution to them, and you'll be glad indeed. Thank you very much. For any business dealing with me, you can see me on the private notes. Thank you.
We need 5 minutes. More than 5 minutes. So, sponsorship is staff for next day.
Yes, thank you very much, Bulwark, for that brief presentation on the services. And the coordinator has again re-emphasized that you have a commitment with us come February next year. Thank you once again. Okay, moving forward, please, we will have to listen to NAPI announcements. And then I would like to call the publicity secretary to please take us through some of the activities happening, the ones yet to happen, and the ones we are expected to be part of. Mr. Bobby, please. Thank you very much. Thank you, Callistus. Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Can you hear me well? Yeah. Fantastic. So I'll be reading out a couple of announcements. I'm sure most of what I'll be saying, you've seen, online, email, LinkedIn, hopefully. But I'll just go through them very quickly. So NAPI, we have a big one coming up for our young professionals. What we are calling that Fueling the Future Young Energy Essay Challenge. Fueling the Future Young Energy Essay Challenge. And we implore our young professionals to key into this challenge because there are lots of prizes to be won. So that's upcoming. If you go to the next slide, I would like to also share a couple of things with us around the NAPI elections. So we've seen the candidates who are vying for positions. I think some of them are coming unopposed, but I think for the vice president position, we have 3 folks who are really campaigning for our vote. So please, we implore you, I'm sure this is very small, but I'm sure you've met for the candidates either in person or you've also seen for these flyers. I will implore you to go on the NAPI website and vote for your candidate of choice. If you go to the next slide, you also see some other candidates that are unopposed. But please do the needful of voting for your candidates. Like Dr. Magnus said, our Christmas event is going to be coming up very soon in November. And that's the NAPI conference with the theme Revitalizing the Nigerian Petroleum Exploration and Production Strategies for Energy Security and Sustainable Development. A powerful theme, and it's going to be holding at Hotels and Suites as River from the 9th to 13th of November. So please bring the date with us. Those of us who have papers to present, we look forward to seeing you there. Also, just to mention that I think right now we are past September 1st, so if you haven't registered, unfortunately you have to pay a slightly higher fee, but please do well to register for that conference. Again, like we always appeal for our members to also join the short courses. I'm looking forward to the few short courses worked by Dr. Obina Chunyan, another professional on here. But please take a look at these courses. Anyone that piques your fancy, do well to register. NAPI is a place for knowledge sharing, and we do not fail to share knowledge. So this is one of the avenues that we can also learn, like we've learned from our colleague here, Mr. Famous. If you go to the next slide, this one is me helping our peers at national level to appeal that we pay our dues. That's how we keep the lights on at NAPI Secretariat. So please, if you are still owing us at NAPI, please do well to use this account number
pay the dues, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obobi, PS for that.
Can we gracefully ask those online if you want to now go their name? Because what we're doing now is just no card. So they don't keep waiting, like we're giving them rights after.
Yes, I think on their own, without your permission, after they already, they are all going back to the offices to concentrate. But those who are staying with us, and then they want to stay with us because I mean, Port Harcourt chapter is a place to be. They want to be with us till the end. Okay, Chapter I want to quickly recognize one of our corporate sponsors again, the Sharpshooters. They've been very wonderful throughout the year, even though they came late today. We want to acknowledge them. Please, let's appreciate those making our image international. Sharpshooters, you're welcome. Thank you. Please do well to take our appreciation message to the management. Okay, I think we are done for the day, apart from the little exercise.
After that, I think the freshman are doing induction.
Yes, we have two more things to attend to. We want to go into the exercise, the innovative one. This is actually the first time we're doing it, and we hope to continue doing it subsequently. So we're employing both those who are here, I mean our YPs and our students, and those who are not here, to try and be part of this exercise because it's going to be continual. Courtesy the Port Harcourt chapter and our prospective sponsors. All right. So on that note, for this exercise, I will call again PS Bobby to conduct this exercise. It's going to be brief. And then after the exercise, we will, the sponsors have been gracious enough to provide us with some snacks and some water so that we can, water down our throats and make sure it's not that dry. No matter how small, we appreciate them. After the exercise or the quiz, we will move towards the back and pick up the snacks. And then a final section with our coordinator for, again, the innovative approach to leadership. Thank you very much. Mr. Bobby.
Okay. We have a short quiz for our folks here, especially for the students. Folks from Bulwark, I don't think you should participate in this because they'll win everything. But I hope the students and the professionals who are here can participate. So let's see. Okay, good. So yes. So I don't know if you can see the Menti code, otherwise I will call it out. Are you on Menti now? Menti.com.
Do you mind telling them what's involved? What they are
let them comment first. So please go to Menti.com and put in the code before I start presenting. But like my leader said, we have fantastic prizes to be won. We are going to have a first prize, second prize, and third prize. Don't participate in this quiz. So please let's make it quick. Menti.com. MENTI. Menti.com. Are we there? The code is 2841 3164. I'll say that again. 2841 3164. So let me start presenting so I can already see folks who are on there.
I already see some folks. Are you log on? Let's call the code again. Okay, good. 2841 3164. That's the Menti code. Yeah, so folks are joining in already. People are already asking questions that we've not even asked. So people are joining, so that's good. So, I mean, if we are in, I can already start. Two 2841 3164. I can see we have 17 people online already. That's good. 17 of us are already 17, yeah. I hope they are here. They better be here because the prices are giving them. Exactly. Okay, so I think we can start. So I think go ahead. Let's make a start. Okay, good. So the first question is coming in now. The first question is coming in now. I'm going to set a timer for 30 seconds. We'll start with the easy questions and then we'll wrap it up to the difficult questions. Okay, so we have most people answering 75%. Layers are originally or nearly horizontal. That's good. So that's the correct answer. You can see that. Next question. Next question. Which principle states that in undisturbed sedimentary layers, the oldest rock are at the bottom?
If you wait and somebody starts answering, you see where the answer get calculated, and you join. Don't follow the multitude to sing. Design your own answer and post. Because some people can wait. And when they say,
okay, very good. I think everybody can answer. So that's the principle of superposition. So that's correct. Okay, so we're wrapping up now. At which type of plate boundary does two plates slide past each other? Horizontal.
please talk into your phone. Don't disturb our conversation.
Okay, so I think most people have answered. We can move on from this one, 17, 18, yeah. So I think the correct answer is, let's see, transform. Fantastic. So we have very fantastic geologists here. As we go to the difficult one, we will now see. Okay, so let's see. So the next question is saying integrating low frequencies during the FWI processing workflow introduces cycle skipping and noise to the data, true or false? Now we now know what's happening now.
I will catch an industry person.
Yeah, so all folks are the ones answering this question.
No.
Are they in this quiz? Can see them more.
No way you want to keep them.
Okay.
For sure, yes.
Okay, so most people said false. Let's see what the answer is. False. Fantastic. Okay, let's go to the next question. What does FWI stand for? This one. Anybody that feels this one? Class. You were not in class, okay. So
What 4D processing techniques was used by the presenter for this piece of work? He presented about 2 of them. What 4D techniques was used? Somebody's getting it right here. People are just following the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised at what happened. So, yeah, we have 70. A few more people are still coming down. Somebody saying dynamic and static. Okay. Okay, I think 16 people have said parallel and joint. Let's see what the answer is. Fantastic. So he mentioned parallel and joint inversion. So let's go to the next question.
You have to think of how to break the time.
That already means to break it down.
So conventional tomographic processing applies waveform instead of ray tracing approach. True or false? Saying false, I saying true. Some are saying false. Yeah, 50-50, that's interesting now. And Doc, he said it. Okay, good. So let's see what the answer is. So it's false. I think it was very well explained during the session. The difference between your conventional tomographic processing and waveform. Okay, let's go to the next question.
Use your phone to do the talking.
So this is a very interesting question. So parallel inversion 4D NWI gives equivalent results to joint inversion with around 60% of the total iterations. So that means we are saying parallel inversion is cheaper than joint inversion. Is that what was said? True or false? $50-50? 50-50. Okay. Okay. How many more people to So okay, so people are saying false, 55% say false. 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 So if you remember what Mr. Famo said, the joint inversion process was actually cheaper than the parallel inversion process. So that's very good. It's good that we are actually getting this right, in general. So this one is, I think, almost the last question. So what's the name of our presenter?
Full name. Full name.
What's his name? Yeah. 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 So you can see. I see why sometimes people don't pay attention to this. So let's see what the answer is. Mr. Famous, is that your name? Because some people say fantastic, fantastic, no, fantastic, that's good. So let me try again. Move my so
Yes, and for the results.
Afternoon, gentlemen and ladies. I'm sure we enjoyed the section, right? Yeah. While he collates the results as INEC chairman, or not Mahmoud. Please, I want to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of us, and then request that we, step backwards for our snacks.
Grab and come back to this.
Yes, grab your snacks and come back to, just take a file, grab your snacks, come back to your seats.
while you are enjoying the snacks, the results will come, and then other things, the concluding section of the today's event. Thank you very much. Please, let us on a single file go and grab our snacks, then come back to us. Thank you very much.
That's it for you. Go and get your snack, please. We finish the quiz, just go and get your snacks. You want my PhD to get angry? No, you can't get that. Because the moment you saw the flash, you called and that person. Actually, where is she coming from? No, I don't know, I was running late. No, already who sent the notification late. So I just saw it and I had the call. We are trying to put together the big one. I mean,